She's kind of camera.
Yep. What's going on? What's going on? Another wonderful Wednesday here with my co-host Marvin, Coach Speller, my man, and as always, the woman, the woman I always give 5 stars, and that's Liz. Liz is here to join us, and we are gonna.
Hell no, man. She gets 10
stars.
You guys are the best.
Yeah, I didn't. Man, see, I got to get those 10 stars, man. I got to get them, man.
It's 10 stars, man.
Yeah, I agree. She's
appreciate you guys.
She gets 10 stars. She knows it though. I mean, come on. She knows that
she got that swag.
Yeah.
She got that swag, she's just winning awards all over the place.
Winning awards.
Yeah. We just
Stop
it.
Yeah.
No, we gotta, a title earned is a title given is a title earned, my dad used to say. And
always
if we're preaching this about you, Liz, you definitely deserve
Thank
it.
you. I always appreciate the love you guys give. It means a lot.
Awesome.
You guys are in my book as well.
No, I appreciate that. Anytime you get a compliment like that from a Sag, it's real. There's 2 Sages right here, so
yeah,
we're not gonna do fluff. We just gonna shoot it straight.
Exactly. So, first things first, and I don't have a drum roll, but I do have a drum roll on this sound card. I don't know if you can see it, but I haven't connected it. Only because I don't like the microphone that it goes with. So
okay.
And I like my old handy one here. It picks up a lot of stuff, and it didn't cost me too much, but it's my favorite microphone. And so until I get an adapter, I'll have to hook up that sound card. That way I can give Marvin applauses every 5 seconds,
Nice. That's all right. They're good.
Go ahead.
No, I said they're good either way, man.
Yeah. So we have this one thing. I'm gonna eliminate this over here because I don't like cutting off Marvin Speller's screen, even though it's good advertising, but I don't like cutting off my man's screen there. There it is, nice and clear.
I appreciate that.
We first things first is the book, and your book is like me waiting for a Christmas gift. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's almost here. I got a good feeling about it. So Marvin, let's talk about that, man.
Okay. Do you want to put it up real quick, or do you want me to just start?
Yes, I'm gonna look for it right now.
Okay, I sent you the copy again. Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, that's the book cover. Okay, cool. That's the book cover. Before I get started, I want to thank you again, Charlie, for going on this path with me or joining me on this journey. I started writing this well over a year ago,
Mm.
There was another version that I don't know if I'm gonna come out with in the future, but I was starting to write, and then all that happened just really put things into motion. Um, and then from the other side, I had to go ahead to keep going with this. Um, so yes, I want to, but also I want to start by thanking you for your support along the way. The reason why I asked Liz and Nikki to come on, I know she doesn't want to come on screen, but
We see her. We see you, Nikki.
Yeah.
Keep smiling. You should have put your beautiful face on the screen. What's wrong with you?
Some people are camera shy. Well, it wasn't easy to get Liz on there at first too, but
Yeah.
It's still not easy, Charlie. I don't know how you guys do it so easily.
Yeah, we
You guys are naturals on screen.
we try.
Yeah, I don't know if natural. It's just it's enjoyable to talk to people. When I was in corporate America, I was on screen, quite a few times. So, but it was terrible at first, and I had to learn just to kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
But you two, Liz and Nikki, for all your support, and Liz, for you. At first, you didn't want to talk to me.
Yep.
She'll tell you that story probably a little bit later. But anyway, she was like, I was like, hey. I was like, okay. She was like, hey, you can call me anytime. And the first thing in my mouth was like, I don't want to use you. She's like, use it. I said, okay. So we started chatting about once a month. And at some point, she was like, you should do this on a podcast. I was like, cool. I said, when you're ready. And so I kind of dragged her into that. And she was great, a grateful, gracious host and all that. So I'll never forget your support and how you would, and it'll make more sense in the book. This is kind of one of the things that men need and people need, especially when they go through this experience of being a widow or widower. You may not say it, no one's going to say it. Just like there's such a deficit in your ability to feel better, and the little things that people do mean everything. And so just having that meant so much. And you obviously were so close to Kristen to even make more, because it validated some of the things that she said about people. I was like, okay, I see that. And I tell people all the time, it's like, you guys can say what you want to do and do what you want to do, but what do they call it? Receipts and all? I've got the receipts on everybody. I know everything. I know everything about everybody she knew.
Yeah.
Either she would share it with me. It was always in kind of a laugh or joke, but it's almost like you guys would just walk around like you're naked, because I know everything about you. There's no shame anymore. I just know it. So you kind of, I just know, and it was always in good spirit and all that. And then you got Nikki on here. It's like she would reach out often, how you doing, and which is great, and I always appreciated that. And so just the connectivity of some of you guys just putting this out to the world. This meant everything to me and means everything to me. And this is why I asked you guys to come on today. I was like, I just want to thank you again. And listen, I'm of the mindset you can never thank people enough. I thank my mother all the time. You don't need that. She always tell me 9 months, no charge. So, it's like you got this. You give people the roses while they're alive, right?
Yeah.
Don't show up after and do the boo-hoos, and just give it to people now, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You got to continue to bring people and give people the love now. So it's kind of, what I wanted to say. And anybody who was already good with Kristen, you automatically good with me to start out with, right? And then you can kind of fall short from there. But you three really have been the best, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. we know she didn't pick any slouch. You know, she picked that
No.
first round draft pick. She definitely knew what she was doing. And and back to you. You're a good GM also, man. You knew what you had. And you know, you could have always took off to Charlotte and never came back, you know.
Yeah, could.
You could have been married to a Baptist preacher's daughter somewhere, you know,
Hmm.
where
I
she
don't
could
know if
have.
that would work with the preacher because the preacher would have probably been mad at me.
You never know, man. That Marvin Speller touch might have won her over. She would have skipped town, never went to church again, only because of Marvin Speller. You know.
That church can be unimpressionable. Um, not trying to toot my own horn, brother, but you still got to feel good about yourself along the way. But it takes a while to build that back up. But so I started writing this version of the book about a year ago, and my goodness, I started just grabbing from here and there and stuff like that. I would put things on voice recordings, and I would just do my own research. I
Mhm.
had enough to begin with because I always tried to be very self-aware of where. First off, let's just talk about Krista. I knew early on. I knew early on my attraction factor with her was the different things about her.
Mhm.
You're
And
right.
different, like what? In what way?
Well, I'm not a traditional type of guy. I'm sure you probably figured it out. You are both by now.
Yep.
The one thing that kind of set things off in motion was her gentle innocence. How she was such a good person. Some people try to hide behind the face, and they may come across as being nice, but they may be rotten individuals.
Hmm.
I picked up on that earlier from an early standpoint. And why I'm still trying to learn, or I was still trying to learn myself. And when I met her, I had to force myself to learn how to love again. We have four chambers in our heart, and once those four chambers are broken, we got to rebuild.
Hmm.
So I spent time rebuilding myself before I decided to exit my last marriage, and so that was a lot of work. Um, but I was open to that point, and then I started doing things to kind of introduce somebody in my life, which was wrote down what I want. I share it with you
Hmm.
what I want, and kind of took it from there and stopped and didn't worry about it and just kind of went on with my life. It's almost like chasing a feather. You can't catch a feather. Sometimes things naturally kind of fall into place, and that was the whole thing. And just this amazing person. But the interesting thing when I met her, of course, I thought she was a very attractive woman, but there was nothing in my mind that was like, I want to get with this woman. And I felt
Yeah.
that's what made it so great because you're not at this point of desperation, not in this point where gotta have. You just kind of letting the universe unfold the way it's supposed to unfold. Um, and then we were cool, and then we were just learning things about each other, talking on the phone from a distance, even after we went on the first date. Um, but it was this thing was like this woman cares about me. This woman has the thing, and all these guys are probably watching this or watched this at one point. If you don't have genuine burning desire, if you're not feeling that, you're wasting your damn time. And that's for women as well. You
Mm.
got to have people that have the burning desire to, because it's not always just an effort thing. It's like people want to feel wanted. And there was never a time I never felt I didn't feel wanted after I initially met her that day in the studio. So we talked and all that and kind of grew from there. But to answer your question directly, there were things that were different about it. I love the music part, which Charlie, you and I have unpacked a lot about tones and frequencies, right? And
Yes, sir.
sometimes you can have a frequency with somebody and you catch on that wave of frequency, and this is how things are built from there. So um when and then I started finding more things. I'm listening along the way. Kristen had a way of she'd tell you a story, but you get the whole novel. which is great. She's got her own way of explaining it, that, how she'd be animated and explaining it. And then there was this one thing where she had this photo and she put on her stomach, judge me, because she was so tired of like so many family members judging her. And there was another version of Kristen that the 5 Tribe Plus knew and carried on from when she was a young girl, right? All the way up. You all understood a little bit more. Sometimes the family didn't understand because they were kind of like cookie cutter. This is how you should be. This is how this thing works. But that's not, she wasn't. And I saw that because I like that intrigue of something different. Life is meant to be a lot of different experiences and I think people are becoming more aware of that. And so that was the attraction factor. Just the burning desire and that whole part of she was different. And like I said, it's not just the looks, it's the difference. It's like she was ride or die with me, because I'm always coming up with these ideas that some people may view as far-fetched, but that's just life. You're supposed to experience different things. It could be anything, right? And it was always that thing. Okay, cool. I trust you. Okay, cool. And that's how it was. So that's how that whole attraction factor. And so I put some of that in the book on many different chapters, and then I took it from there, and I kept writing the book. And I was always grateful to have that whole experience, and then to turn around for a book to help people out who've gone through something similar. Grief is different ways. Sometimes losing a child or your spouse is the hardest thing you can go through, but you can maneuver through it. I will never use the word get over it, because I think that's a bunch of bull crap. Why, if you love someone deeply or they were a great person, why the hell would someone say, oh, you'll get over them, or just that whole thing? Okay, you got to be strong. Like, strong for what? I don't have to. And I always say, Charlie, and I've said this many times, we have been told so many things in reverse. And it's to kind of have our programming to think, and to kind of mute us and kind of dumb us down when our thinking and all that. And when my first year was my first, probably the first 7 months was terrible, because I was so into my head. It was like, man, like, and I say to myself sometimes, it's like, at some point I got to a point, and Liz, about this, I talked about before, that grief creep. Just tell them somewhere and shut up. This ain't true. You're just making stuff up to destroy me. And so I was like, okay, get this thing, get the. And so once I felt like I had a little bit more in control, which you'll never stop being sad. There's certain things you're just not gonna move past on. It just doesn't. But it doesn't mean you go through your whole life and you're gonna be sad all the time. You're more than sad. You're more than happy. You're more than gracious. You're more than all of. You're so many different attributes about you that you can't be attached to one another. That was probably my greatest lesson writing this book. The attachment thing, you just got to be careful for. So the book will be out. We're right at the phase of formatting. I went with a publisher. We're at the phase of formatting. And I know they're probably really kind of, they're probably tired of hearing from me, because I reach out to them all the time. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Because first off, it's my baby. I want it done correctly, and I want it done in a way that is going to be hard hitting for people. I picked up so many different books on grief, and they were very airy and all these different things. And I didn't want airy. I want something that's going to smack you upside the head, bring you in, and then release you back on the world. And I'll tell real quick about, so I got this whole section that's dedicated for tools and resources that can help people. And it goes in deep. I mean, really deep with things that some things that people probably never heard. But it goes into that. And then at the end, I put a little bonus in there because um, I put in like a 15-day planner. It was like, okay, well, you got the whole book, you've learned the history, you learned the memoir, and you've got some tools, and so you got something to start out with. Whatever works for you works for you. But now you could start using this planner at the end for free. That can help you continue to get your journey going, wherever your journey is going to take you. So
Very nice.
those are my elevator pitches, brother.
Very cool.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be a good tool for anyone that's kind of looking for some. They have questions. They're looking for some answers, and I think that you're going to provide it
Mhm.
in your book over the last month or so when we were talking about it. It would be my go-to. Um, but the one thing that I found out is that some people going through grief, uh, they uh, they have a certain time when they're asking, well, when they ask themselves, "What do I do next?"
Yeah, and
And
you'll come to that. This can help, but you're going to go through some ugly stuff,
mhm,
and you're going to go through some ugly stuff about yourself.
Mhm.
I mean, you're going to be like, damn, I didn't know that about me, because this whole thing of grief is going to show up. It's going to put you on a screen of all the things you could do or couldn't do, all your inadequacies, all the things you suck at. I mean, you got people in general, they get that every day. They
mhm,
wake up, they go in the mirror, and that voice right there in the mirror is telling you suck. And
mhm,
people are honest about it, right? This is what I would
Mhm.
be talking about, reframing. This is the work. And especially when you go through something traumatic and you will have PTSD, you got to do some work to change how you frame yourself, because your frame at that moment is a frame of despair, a
mhm,
frame of distraught, a frame of most people barely love themselves. You gotta man, you gotta kind of fall in love with yourself. People ask me questions, and you you could be sometime in if someone asks you a question, and I'm sure Liz, you can answer. Someone asks you how you doing, and you don't want to tell them terrible,
No.
right? And
Right.
mhm,
you're
Right.
lying to people, right? You're like, well,
Every
I
day.
don't know, right?
Every day.
Yeah, how you doing? Oh, I sucked at that, but you're not gonna tell people that,
Yeah. Right.
right?
um,
Right.
it's I mean, I don't want to bring this up. Well, I can. My cousin used to challenge. I mean, my uncle used to challenge people when he knew that you wasn't being genuine. Um, with your meet and greets, they would ask. The common thing is, "Hey, so how you doing?" And he would say, "I'm dying from cancer, and just keep walking."
Mm,
And people's response would be, "Oh, that's good." And he's like, people do not pay attention to things, and he would always challenge them to, and then later on, so you didn't hear what I said yesterday, so let's slow down with our meeting and greet. Let's give a handshake. Let's talk to people. Talk to each other right,
mhm.
and give me a sincere greeting in the morning. We see each other every day, and you didn't even hear what I said, you know. And just be sincere. I like people to be sincere when they're meeting and greeting. And he's the same way. So, but he used to challenge people when they were phony. He would do something like that. You know, and nobody wants to hear that c word. But
Right.
it's something to get people to stop. And wait a minute. And
It's hard to tell people that because part of you already feels like everybody's got their own issues, right? And a part of
mhm.
you is like, I don't really know how to deal with all this. And there's a small part of you that feel like, people really probably give a damn more about themselves. So why tell them about your problems? So there's a whole bunch that goes into it. But there's also a flip side. There's a flip side where you're starting to, man, I felt this early on this wave of love. I don't know where it came from. It's like you really start to feel like you love everything.
Mm.
Right. There's this wave, and it's like, and I feel like I love people on a deeper level now. And
And
uh
that's weird. That's because I think all of us on the screen or in the studio, we know the sincerity and the loving person that you are. To say that you love some people more deeply is amazing. I mean, how deep can it go? Especially coming from Marvin Speller, you
well,
know.
thank you. Infinite, brother. It's the closest we can get to divine love, which is no attachments to it, right?
Hmm.
And so you kind of feel that. Um, I, I joined a bunch of over time, a bunch of groups, all sorts of groups, and people go through all different experiences. But one thing I realized over time is like no matter what you're going through, life is still coming on, right? Sun's gonna come out, except where you live, right? If you cloudy all the time, the sun kind of there, but you don't really know it, right? But
Hmm.
it's going to get dark at night. I mean, certain things are just going to happen, and um, I think we'll go into this more when we go into chapters. Is like the one thing I got from so many people: you have to make a decision of what are you going to be. You're gonna make it through. You're gonna be okay. Only you can make that decision for yourself. There's this thing called widowhood effect. You make a decision whether you're gonna make it or not. It affects people who are older more, but it affects all. So you
Yeah.
see people, their spouse died, and then a couple months later they passed away. They were so overcome, their body couldn't readjust back.
Hmm.
Right.
You know what
Seen
I'm
that a lot.
saying? Yeah, you see it a whole lot.
A lot.
I remember first time I saw it was Christopher Reeve's wife.
Mhm.
She died a year later after he passed. Year and a half later, of lung cancer. She never smoked a day in her life.
Right.
Hmm.
So you make this decision, and I don't. I can almost remember the time I made it where I'm going to make the decision to live and thrive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and that decision wasn't easy to come by because I had other things I had to deal with in life. But maybe those things helped me. That was the purpose of those things popping in my life. Was like, okay, you still got stuff to do.
Right.
So, and then I
Um,
felt so much love from people. So I was like, just keep it going, keep it going.
Michael B on YouTube says, "I wonder if people are afraid to love because they may feel it's not reciprocated."
Well,
Um,
a lot of times it's not.
hmm.
I mean, really. And so I was talking about the divine love because that's the loving without any type of attachments. You
Yeah.
just doing it because it just feels good to do it. But yeah, a lot of times, maybe the version you're looking at, it may not be reciprocated, but another version of it is you get full by that, by feeling that. No, I don't. I,
Hmm.
you know what it is. The challenge all the time is just uh, being a person that's of a higher vibration. That way, no matter what I give out, if I don't get it back, it's okay. It's on to the next person, and whatever version it is. It could be something nice. It could be somewhere. Hey, you look like you're this, and you got a great shirt on, great shoes, something without any type of anything, right? I'm still not that type of person that would tell somebody that because I wanted to get with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just it's because it's from the soul. And so, yeah, you do have a lot because a lot of people is just so into whatever affected them in the moment. All you gotta do is scroll through Facebook. You see it all the time.
Mhm.
Someone's talking about this and that and this and that and this and that because we've been so indoctrinated by so many different things. But I think that's a great point, Michael. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Liz? I love it. Get your thoughts on that about this thing. Do you think
I mean,
people are afraid to love because they may feel it's not
yeah,
reciprocal?
I think that, I mean, love is a feeling, and I think if you feel as though it's a one-way street, or you're not getting that love back, then I mean, I think you got to go with your discernment and move on.
I
Yeah.
agree with
I
that.
think a
Yeah.
lot of
Well,
yeah, I think a lot of times we stay too long.
are you
Mhm.
talking about in a relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I was saying earlier. If you're a guy seeing somebody,
Hmm.
I've seen the beauty side of this after many attempts at this. I've seen where I had somebody who had genuine burning desire. I mean, that's where it starts, man. I think intrinsically, the thing that touches you is when someone has desire for you. If they don't, then there's billions of other people out here, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That
Mhm.
is a hard pill to swallow. And we all have had people in our lives that we want them to want us, and they just can't bring it for maybe they're just not that into you,
Yeah.
and it stinks. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks because it really messes with your ego, right?
It does, but you have to remember that there were people that were into you that you weren't into. So,
Yeah,
it goes both ways. We've been
it
on
does.
both sides of it. So I look
Yeah,
at it that way so that it doesn't, it won't hurt your feelings as much when you
yeah,
think, hey, there was somebody out there that really was into me and I wasn't into them. So,
Mhm.
sometimes those roles change and you just have to keep it moving.
yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Michael B says on YouTube, he says, I hear that. Good point. I have noticed when I go out with um, go out with love in my heart, it does attract others to me with that. And I get that.
Great.
Nobody, you should never change who you are. Don't
Mhm.
change the way, as far as the way you love it. Keep loving the way you do. Um, and if someone else comes into your life, there may be an adjustment you need to do, right? And different ways. Some people may don't
Yeah.
want the cascade of all the sweet and lovely things. They
Do
may just
do you
want
think
the. Go
do
ahead.
you think people get I hear all this. I think sometimes there's a part in your mind where you you feel that, and it could be something simple as like I can go without this, but we are very communal people as
Hmm.
human beings, right? And sometimes when you don't have something that you want, it kind of breaks down that barrier. Because I think, and this is where people are like, well, I want love, I'm giving love, and so I may make a little sacrifice here and there, right? It could be something simple where a guy meets a girl and they got a good relationship, and all of a sudden he wants her to cook every night. She wants him to cut the grass every couple of days. Just they both got things, right?
Yes.
And so you constantly, so sometimes it's that whole tug of war. So I can understand all sides because I think sometimes people will feel a need to make some level of sacrifice, right? I
Now,
love
do
to
you
hear you
do
guys' thoughts on that one.
and just what you're talking about? Do you, when it comes to intimacy, there's also part of it that's there's a necessity in part with intimacy.
Yeah,
It's there, and some people forget that, and it may be where you're kind of giving a little bit more when it comes to intimacy because it's a necessity for the other person in your life,
Yeah.
and you should pick up try to pick up on that, and then and go ahead and provide that as a loving person, and
Right.
sometimes years ago, young and foolish and stupid, intimacy was probably something that was a lot of lust and sexual
Right.
desires. People don't realize that that's not the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not really intimacy because everything
It's
starts with the mind. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah.
ex- exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Starts with the mind. Liz, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole conversation.
Um,
About people
I,
making sacrifices and all that.
I mean, well, I'm gonna go back to kind of what Charlie said. I think you have to be mentally stimulated when you're with someone. I think that
Yeah.
that's an attraction for me, is if
Hmm.
you're mentally stimulating my mind.
Hmm.
So that's where I start. But I also think it's with age. When we're young, like we really just don't really understand um, what love really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely
Yeah.
think it comes with age, maturity, experience. But for me, that mental stimulation is everything. So if I'm not getting that, there really is no need to proceed.
Mm.
Exactly.
That's a great point. Yeah, that whole thing, and it could be mental stimulation, could come from provoking thoughts. It could be the action. It could be some level of humor and all that. Because
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, especially when I was in high school, that was the thing that got guys over. They could make people laugh and all that. But
Hmm.
I do 1,000% agree. Is that it kind of goes back to what I was saying, that whole stimulation is something different. What makes that person the best version that you feel internally, that's that? And that was always important to me. That was always important to me to project that out to the world, was like, you know what? And I feel like that's probably even more important now, just to project the best version of me to the world. Just because this world is of a nature where the world celebrates winners.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And and I think that is something that's probably built into me from the great men I've been around. Is just like, you got to do, and you got to continue to reinvent yourself. And I
Sure.
think about, man, I really can't believe at this point in my life, it's like I'm a published author now.
That's it.
Not somebody just said I wrote a book. I'm a published author.
Join, join the club. I need your good company, man.
And that hit me, and I was like, man, because a lot of times I don't like to give myself credit because I always feel like I haven't done enough.
Hmm. Or you feel like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I wrote a book. It's no big deal.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
Like if I had 10 million in the bank right now, it'd still be this whole thing of what more.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah,
Not
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, it's that burning desire every day. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
what's next? It's got to be something tangible.
Michael B, thanks for all the comments. He says, desire love without condition. Maybe think of intimacy as a form of giving of oneself and being a gift of love. Yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
poetic, man. I could
Yeah,
try to
that's
write.
weird.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, I can write about that.
But I
I'm not.
also think in the nature of men and women, I don't know. I don't think I've ever met a woman who give love unconditionally, unless there's certain things that you build. I think it's a build to. I don't know. I think over time, but that's still as a guy being his best version.
Mm.
I don't know. and I may be wrong, or you know what? I think I felt Krista's love for me was unconditional, and that cemented itself more when she told people her greatest accomplishment in life was our love.
Hmm.
So you felt on one level that whole unconditional. I felt it was very unconditional.
Yeah, and you look where she came from and all the reasons why um she was front and center um to you, right? All those reasons why she went there. And there was a little bit more um sadness in her and things she was looking at, a way she was looking at things. Um and she was trying to get that happiness back. You know, the person we all see. Marvin Speller had a huge part of that, right? So for her to give her unconditional love to you is that you was the quilt maker, right? You was filling in those patches that she needed, sewing them up, making her feel warm and comfy. So for her to give you that unconditional love, the reason being is you just filled in so many different things for her that she truly, truly needed, and the reasons why she was on the West Coast. So,
Well, thank you, and I will say I just wanted to be the space for her to thrive from. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That was incredibly important because
What did you say last week? I'm going to bring out the best version of you. What was that quote?
oh,
That
when I met her,
yeah.
shoot, that first dinner. Some people call it corny.
Yeah.
I'm here to remind you of your greatness. This is our first
Yeah.
dinner. I've known
Mhm.
this woman for a couple days. I don't know where the hell that came from. And you know, I think everybody has a journey and mission in life. Became apparent, like I told you, Charlie. There's a lot of times I don't want to do stuff for people. Maybe some of the things that Michael said. You know,
Mm.
um, you know, sometimes a vast majority of the time I don't. But it's kind of one of these things. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, yeah,
Yeah. I
the purpose in life is for people to be better around me. That's my
mm.
purpose. And
Doing a
it's
great
important.
job, man.
No,
Doing a
thank you, man. Like I said, I just open doors for people, man. That's it. Open doors, right? And that's what I try to do, man.
How do you feel about Nicole not opening the door on this podcast today and not being? She's just in the background in the studio and not showing her face. It's like she's hiding in the back room, right? How do you
No,
feel about Nicole?
no. It's funny. I could feel her already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I could feel everybody who's watching this, seen or unseen. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So it and now we talked about you reaching 1 million people, right? Now, and you've been reaching people,
Hmm.
and now you're gonna reach them again.
Yeah.
So, um, this book is gonna allow me to see something differently. Maybe I think I know a lot. Maybe a lot about you. Maybe Nicole thinks that she knows a lot about you. Liz, you know what? I think this book is gonna give us something else, something different. Because it's in a different form, right? It's in a different form. And one thing about reading is reading you can paint your own picture with words. And I think that you're going to be able to reach us in a different way with this book, Unpacking Grief. And I just want to let you know that this is it's an accomplishment, and it's not a necessity. I think this is an accomplishment that, well, it is a necessity, and let me correct myself. And I just think that I don't want you to shortchange what you're doing, because this is going to put you on another level. And um, it is as far as me and how I look at you.
No, thank you. Um, you know, I don't know what I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. So I am I'm hyped about it in a lot of ways because we have opportunity to talk to more and more people, and I've been finding myself talking to more and more people lately, especially online. See, I don't like this thing of texting. I don't like. I like to get on and talk to people. Like I wish I was there with you guys right now.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could just be right there, give you guys just one big giant hug because I'm just feel like I'm expanding this energy of love to the world. And sometimes I just want to be there with people.
Right.
I remember there was this lady. She called herself the street angel. She was just out there giving love to people, man. This is where when we talk about this, I just feel that just the need to be out there and just if you provide something to somebody, some level of hope, you just it just feels good, man. I mean, honestly, this will give me an opportunity to connect with more people, and
Sure.
and you start to bring this thing back from people. It's like, okay, I learned something from you. I feel something from you. Oh wow, I'm feeling this type of vibration from you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Question, Marvin. We had talked about this before, but I don't know where it's at right now. But are you going to put this on audio?
Yes.
And are you going to be the voice?
So I don't know if I'm going to read the whole thing
Okay.
because it's like 110 pages.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. That's easy for you. You can do that.
I know I can, but they have technology now that can kind of clone you.
Okay. Well,
I
that's
don't.
good.
It depends though. If they can't get my inflections right, then I don't want that because I think there's something that's important to me now, the inflections, right? Because I can read like this: unpacking grief, shattered to onward, Marvin Speller. They can create that, but I want people to like unpacking grief, shattered to onward. First chapter is American Phoenix. We go into this and that. I want people to feel that. I think
Yeah,
that's a different feeling than just one level. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Um,
But
yeah, but an audio is to me, in my opinion, when it
right.
comes to this book, is a must.
Yeah, well, I think
Yeah.
I keep hearing that. Liz, you've said that. Charlie, you're saying that.
Yeah.
I think it's doing so. Even if it's kind of without some of the inflections, um, I think it's needed because sometimes when you hear the audio, you can start to visualize, which I think will make a lot of sense to people,
Mm.
right? Especially the first 3 chapters. You really want to get that. You really want to visualize that because that's really going to hit you. It's
Yeah.
going to hit you. It's going to hit you hard. It's not. It's not an airy situation. It's a. It's It's dark. It's dark and raw.
Mm.
And like I was sharing before, I wanted to bring that to people where because a lot of times I was there, but I also understand the need to have sometimes that dark, gritty, raw side of you's got to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where I project to the world kind of straight down the middle because my emotions don't really go too many different directions, right? But I wanted to portray that because that's just kind of what I was feeling where I was at.
Well, I think it's going to be amazing, and in fact, I know it is. And I cannot wait for this. Really, truly, truly cannot wait to have it behind me, um, and accessible to me and my family, to and friends, because I'm part of the reason. Liz is part of the reason. Nicole's part of the reason. Um, you're gonna reach 1 million people because we're the type of people in your life that are about doing a good thing, right? And a good thing is unpacking grief and sharing it with our friends and family. So I think we're gonna get you to that 1 million people, and I can't wait. I really
No,
do.
thank you. And I, I still can't believe I would share this with people because, part of me was thinking in the beginning, well, what are people going to think? I didn't care at some point, right?
Yeah.
I look at it right now. Sometimes you haven't met the people that love you. Take that in. Sometimes you have not met the people that love you or
Mm,
going to love you. You haven't met them. And
mm,
so that's that's pretty damn exciting, man.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that gets me going. You know what I'm saying? It's like because you just never know. You can go out here tomorrow and meet the most loving person, and they just love you so much just because. And I've had that experience, so that's what it's about. But I'm grateful you guys are going to share. Well, you guys are in the book too, so I had to throw love to people.
wow. Liz is in the book.
This is in the
Hey,
book.
that's a lot of money,
Charlie's in
man.
the book.
How much money did you pay to put Liz in the book, man?
fifty
It
thousand.
was a hefty amount, Charlie.
Hefty.
It was
What
a
about
hefty.
Nicole?
Disclose it right now, but
Yeah, Nicole. Nicole,
it wasn't as much as you charged.
listen, you know what? I had to give him a family waiver.
Discount.
Yeah, I walked upstairs one day and I had this huge phoenix on the attic top floor over here, right? And it looked like Kristen, but I don't know, man. But she was a little mad at me because I was charging.
Oh,
So I had
so
to
I
give,
see.
I had
Yeah.
to, I had to kind of withdraw that fee.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
get it.
it was only 2 cents. I give Marvin my 2 cents every Wednesday.
There you
That's
go. And I start giving people 3 cents now.
Yeah,
Yep.
and only because you want more money, or only because that third cent means something.
There, the 3 times 3 is significant to me.
Mm.
We'll talk about that in another podcast. So three
Oh,
is
I'm. See,
three,
you're throwing
three
some
times three
gems.
is 9. 9 is important to me.
Well, you're throwing out some gems today because there's one thing we're going to be talking about in the next few weeks, and that's the 4 chambers of the heart. You
Oh
said
yeah, I
that
do that
earlier,
earlier.
so
Yeah.
that's gonna be something that I already scribbled down here, and when you and I are gonna talk about that, and
Liz, you got to come back because we got to have a female perspective on this
all
okay.
right, so we're gonna have to
because
give her Liz.
yeah,
Liz needs that we have to. I mean, we're fun. 10 seconds off, she's off the podcast. You and I are already fun. We're missing her already, but we know we got to give her that 4 week span, right? So,
I know, right? Well, today
well,
today I did good. I'm
all
outside
right.
of a hockey rink, sitting in a car, enjoying this
Oh,
podcast.
nice,
I'm
nice.
glad. I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean,
I
yeah,
am.
Liz, you're an
No,
incredible person.
you two are you two have a bright light to you guys, and it's always a
Thank you.
pleasure to be on the same screen as you guys. And I'm looking forward to the book. Maybe we can once it's out, maybe we could go chapter to chapter, talk about it.
Yeah,
Mm,
that'd be
And
great. You know what I want to do? I do want to. It just came to my mind. At some point, and it probably have to be either the fall or next year, because they're gonna do the celebration, the water celebration on Taunton River for Kristen next year.
mm.
I want to do a book signing out there. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off, but
That
let me
would be
throw
nice.
it
What month are they thinking of doing that? Like,
September next year.
oh, so okay, nice warm weather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would probably want to do something in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, some type of book signing or just get out there in front of people and talk.
Well, the thing about our spring out here in the Northeast, it starts later.
Yeah,
You know,
like
where
June.
Liz will attest to this, is that sometimes we go from winter to bam, it's summer that quick. It's
On
just
the same day.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's all
so
good, man. Bring that California sun, man.
so
Mm-hmm.
you said spring 2026, or is
Yeah.
it spring 2027 that you wanted to do something outside?
No. It don't have to be outside, just out there.
Out there. Okay. All right. I get you.
Yeah,
I
out
got
there.
I
So
got you.
we do something inside. We just bring the sun on the inside.
True.
That happens that no doubt about it. Um
But yeah, I want to get in front of one of my favorite places is always going to be Massachusetts
Thank you.
because I just love the people out there. I don't know. It's I've heard all the things, but the people from Boston are like the realists. I felt so much love since day one. So yeah, definitely want to get out there and show love. That's what I want to do.
Well, we'll definitely do that. Everything stops when Marvin comes into town, so don't worry about it.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and I even show you guys the love. Right?
Oh,
Yes.
Boston Cup.
Yeah.
I love coffee mugs. I love them. They're got so many of them. I'm getting yelled at. I have to get rid of them. So I think I gonna go to the local flea market or something and just donate a bunch of them to someone to get rid of. And I just have so many. It's just crazy. Um, it's a key to my heart. As you see, I'm drinking right now, but it's not in a coffee mug. It's in this tumbler. Coffee mugs are different. Can deliver a message no matter what. Every morning, afternoon, whatever. Can definitely have a message on there. Like,
Sure.
imagine unpacking grief on a coffee mug, right?
Yeah, you should think
That's a
about
good
that.
idea. Hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah, you love coffee mugs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea. See, I told you I don't have all the answers. I told you I'm learning from everybody. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Everybody loves a mug. I always say, so when I started my business, I got little cups, right? Because I said it's one thing people just don't throw out. I like coffee mugs, cups, like people keep them forever.
Yeah.
So if your branding is on there, like people have
Like,
it for years.
yeah. I have one with a little chip on it. I won't throw it away.
Yeah, that's how everyone is.
Yeah, me too. This one I made sure this stays spotless. Yeah, I make sure this one stays, but a lot of them have chips on them. So.
I keep it. Keep it. Adds a little sweetness to my coffee.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make before we go. I'm gonna make a announcement on social media at some point over the next couple of days.
Okay.
So I've kind of dripped this out, but I want to make a formal announcement. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And go from there.
Well, thank you, and I'll make sure that I share it.
Okay.
We had some questions in the bullpen, but those questions also be, they can be asked next week, Marvin, and you know how we do it. And I'll definitely bring that up.
Are you talking about I only see Michael's question.
Well, no, the ones that I created.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can get that next week.
Yeah. Michelle Perry sends a heart.
Thank
If
you,
she
Michelle.
found
You're
it.
amazing.
So
And maybe in a couple weeks we can start going into the four chambers. But you know what? I want to. Let me see. Let me look at my calendar real quick because I'm going to be. Yeah, from the 23rd to the weekend, I'll be in Oklahoma.
yeah,
They're having the party again. Christmas in July.
it's all good.
I look forward. So maybe the 30th, Liz, if you could join.
30th of July.
Yes.
I think I can.
Okay.
Same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of go into that whole about the four chambers and this stuff like that. Stuff around it. Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie podcast. Okay.
And feel free to, Nicole, you can add questions to the four chambers of the heart. You have any questions, opinions, send it to Marvin and I. Um, just because, like Marvin said, that female perspective and is very, very important. So
Very
you start
important.
thinking about it, just give us a question. Hey Beverly, how you doing? Nice to join us. Beverly's another person that she has gone through a lot of grief, love and grief, tremendous family, and she's definitely gone through a lot. So it's nice to see her joining us.
Just like everybody on here, we send nothing but love to everybody, and we send the same love to you, Beverly, as well. I think to your point, Charlie, of having a female, because there are portions of divine feminine that men can understand and overstand there, but I think women operate more now on a more consistent basis. So this is why I always try to get a perspective from a woman because you all operate in the feminine a whole lot more than men do, even though they try to get men to operate more in the feminine as opposed to the masculine energy. But I think sometimes there's the duality of both.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to always have a female perspective is very warranted.
I agree. The essence of love, male and female. It's can't have one or the other. It has to be both, in my opinion. So I can't wait. All right, Marvin. Right now I'm gonna end the podcast. If you think of something different you want to say or something you want to add right now, then please do.
Well, ladies first. Liz, you have something you want to say before you go?
No, I'm looking forward to the book. I am
Thank
honored to be in the book, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to read it.
I'm honored to know you.
Yeah. It's I am so glad that I met Liz for even for all the reasons, good, bad, and sad. Loss of my fabulous cousin, but this is all good to me. The relationship we have, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's why I'm getting out there.
Yeah.
Got to give you guys a hug and share that space with you guys. It's important.
That's it. Like I like to say, 10-second hugs are wonderful.
Yeah.
After we miss people for a long time, I like to give that 5 to 10 second hug and just say, "Hey, I miss you."
Agree.
All right. Thank you, everyone. The great friend in the background, Nicole Almeida. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate you, Marvin. Thank you for sending her the link. This is what we're about. Every week we're trying to unpack the grief, and unpacking grief, shattered to onward. Marvin David Speller. This is the new book. the new thing. I'm gonna wait for that announcement, and then I'm gonna be blasting it all over the place.
Thank you, brother.
And I cannot wait.
There's two things before we go. Beverly says, sorry, joined so late. That's okay. Blessings to you as well. There's a Cape Verdean event out here this Saturday. I may try to see if I can get in there and talk shop with them. Looks like you all had a good time on Saturday.
Yeah.
Liz, did you go to that? I can't hear you, Liz.
No, she's
Sorry, no, I did not go.
Okay. Charlie, looked like you had a good time. It must have been a great time for that parade, huh?
The parade was awesome. I liked. It just had a good. It just had a good vibe about it, and 50 years of independence is amazing. And then some of the stories that I hear from my father's friends and how he was involved.
Right.
I just it's just nice to see,
Sure.
and just like everything else, you may have little sprinkles of little problems here or there, but man, the outpouring happiness was just unbelievable. The music, the dancing.
Yeah, I love that about your culture. I really do.
Then the next day, I went to Providence and I seen that for the first time. But the one thing, like to get back to some of the traditional dances, and just too much twerking going on with the young ladies. That needs
terrible.
They were twerking.
Yeah, it needs to change. We as I don't mind the dancing, and if that's going to be the role that you do, but don't forget the traditional dancing of that of a man and a woman, and just dancing and celebrating the music, the culture. It just want to get back to
You mean like slow dancing? You're saying?
No, it's just the traditional dancing where it's you're dressed like the traditional garb, and you just
What's it called again? I forget. I remember, but Kristen, what's the name of the dances?
I can't even. I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but it's definitely a good feeling when you see it. It should bring back some memories, And I don't want those things to be scattered, I don't want or diminished. I don't want them to be diminished, that when we're kind of doing everything, like Beverly said, our ancestors, we got to do it that way. The no other cultures are changing up, they're still doing, whether it's Europeans dancing the way they do, Africans dancing the way they do, Brazilians, and even Americans, it stays that way. We need to keep that. Twerking's Americanized. It's not. It's more than that. Let me correct myself. And I don't want that to be what people see later on in life.
Yeah.
Let's bring back some little tradition to everything,
That's a good point. You never saw Sinners, did you?
No. Not yet, man.
Liz, did you see Sinners?
No, I have not.
Oh gosh, man.
I know. We're behind, Charlie.
Y'all not behind. Y'all like way behind. Come on now.
Well,
old school.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm behind is I want to put it on, and when I'm thinking about it, it's during the day. Well, I mean, we have TVs in every room, but I want to be in the living room watching Sinners. And
no, I get that. It's there is some. I would call that it's a love story about people. It's a love story about culture, and it's interesting. You guys are talking about culture. I was thinking about it because there's this down south blues, so I was really attached to that, and I think about how there was a time when you had the culture. When I look at when you talk about you had twerking, I think twerking would never have survived back then with that culture.
No.
And you guys have such a rich Creole culture. And so, which I've always admired. Um, it is so close to, as I call our indigenous um, Indian culture here. So I find a lot of similarities of being so tied into the culture and just the pride behind it.
Yeah, there's one thing I mean, I hear the music, and I believe it or not, I've heard it outside the Northeast, and I knew it instantly. Just definitely knew it. I knew it. I knew it was Creole music, and I was like, "Damn, this is."
Is it called Sosabi?
So Sabi is like so good. That's what it means. So
Okay, got it.
but
Okay.
Sabi's, but it's a more. That's the song that you're gonna hear no matter what.
Yeah,
Throughout the night, you're gonna hear it.
I've heard that a lot. So
Yeah. So
okay.
all right, everyone. Good electronic hug for both of you, all three. Nicole in the back, electronic hug. I appreciate you. Everyone on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, I appreciate you. This was definitely yes. Hearts back to you. Marvin's book, Unpacking Grief. This is definitely, he's going to bring out an announcement, and I'm going to actually throw things out there on our YouTube channel about the book. And let's reach 1 million. And if we can reach 1 million, if you're part of that 1 million, that million. So, all right, take care. And
Thanks,
Marvin, we'll talk in a couple of days. Liz, hope your kids scored a couple of goals during the hockey game. And Nicole, thank you for joining us. All right.
Thank you.
God bless.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.